Well, we're back.
We're back with our top 20 swimsuit preliminary performances. Preliminary swimsuit performances.
Yes.
We enjoyed watching the show overall. We had some critiques. You may have seen them in our live.
Yeah, I don't want to harp on all like the negative stuff. I really want to focus more on on the positives today, the performances and the women. So we got 20, counting down 20, and I think we just dive right in.
Let's just dive right in.
Yeah.
Let's quickly mention Netherlands and Ecuador. Love their performances. Very strong, very beautiful. They didn't quite make it onto our list, but they maybe made it onto yours.
So in the 20 spot, let's start with Vietnam.
We have always loved Vietnam.
Yeah.
We were so excited to see her. We wish we would have gotten a bit more energy, I think, from Vietnam, which is why she's lower on this list. And by the way, you may have seen my YouTube short of my favorites in swimsuit. This is going to be a bit of a different order because we've now combined our lists.
Yeah.
So we've basically like averaged them together, if that makes sense.
Next in the 19th spot, we have Portugal. She was a very pleasant surprise for me last night. I thought that she carried herself really well. She was one of the bigger surprises for me of the night, and I thought that she deserved a spot on our list.
Next up, Spain. I personally would have ranked Spain a bit higher. I really enjoyed her performance, loved her spin, her looks that she gave. I thought she gave a very strong swimsuit performance, and I was really happily surprised with her. And I think some of you were as well. 17th
spot, we have Peru. And I felt like her performance was a little bit lackluster. I think
yes,
maybe
for what we were expecting.
What we were expecting. She's so beautiful that no matter
was that carrying her?
A little bit, yeah. I'm trying not to say that, but I think that kind of like she. I think I was expecting a lot from Peru, and she is gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's striking. She's all those things. I just felt like her swimsuit performance, her walk, the way she carried herself, like it could have been better.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't screaming, I want to be Miss Universe, or I am your next Miss Universe, and that's what we want to see. Brazil, another contestant who 100% should have been screaming, I am your next Miss Universe, I want to be your next Miss Universe, and she again is so gorgeous, so she's just glowing, but like the energy isn't there.
Next up in the 15th spot, we have Australia.
Big surprise.
I'm with, throw in the same category as Portugal. I was super surprised with Australia. I was super impressed with her body. She's super strong, super fit. I thought she had a pretty good walk too. I thought she carried herself really well. So
sadly, her walk didn't translate into gown, but we'll talk about that in the next video. Yeah. In the 14th spot, we have Miss Angola. Miss Angola is giving a very strong performance, in my opinion, the strongest since Miss Universe 2011, Layla Lopez, however you like to pronounce it. I thought she was beautiful in swim, loved her walk, everything that she offered in the swimsuit round.
In the 13th spot, we have Bahrain. I think that's right.
Her and I are matching with our hot pink outfits.
How was that?
She was wearing hot pink.
Oh,
no. She gave a very iconic performance. We loved Miss Bahrain, and she has been serving looks all through the Miss Universe competition so far. We have loved seeing her. It was so great to see her come out in the swimsuit competition, giving the performance that she did. She did like a double turn. She was incredible.
In the 12th spot, we have South Africa. And I think South Africa, for me, I thought she could have given more.
Right, yes. Again, she was great.
Yeah.
But she could have been excellent.
Right. Yeah. She didn't do anything that was bad necessarily. I maybe expected a little bit more from South Africa, but I thought she was very adequate.
Next up, Thailand. Thailand, I probably would have personally ranked her a little bit higher, but again, we combined our lists. And I thought she was very sexy, seductive. I really liked her performance. I think a lot of you liked her as well. I thought her performance was beautiful, loved her turns, her looks. I thought she was giving,
Thailand seemed like very much a professional.
Right.
That's her job.
She knew what she was doing.
What she does, yeah. And it came very natural to her compared to some other girls where it didn't seem like she was really thinking about, oh, how do I walk? Right. What do I do with my hands? Or what do I do with my cape? And
she was just there in the best way.
It seemed supernatural, which is nice. Moving into our top 10, in the 10th spot, we have Venezuela, who has been one of my favorites as well, kind of leading in. I don't think I was necessarily blown away by Venezuela, kind of similar to what I said about South Africa. She was good, but she didn't blow me away, and I really wanted Venezuela to blow me away.
100%, especially from what we've seen behind the scenes, in the rehearsals. We've seen hair flips from her, turns. I think some of the contestants, we were waiting for something to happen, and then they were off the stage and we were like, what
Yeah.
What?
I'm not going to talk about the negative things, but
I
it would have
know,
been nice
no.
for the stage to be maybe a bit bigger and get the girls a chance to kind of really get moving with their momentum and like kind of own it and kind of get into like a rhythm type of a thing. It felt like so quick by the time they were turning around and showing off their cape, they were gone. You know, it all happened. It seemed to happen so fast.
In the 9th spot, we have Miss Philippines. Celeste, there's a lot of critiques out there right now, a lot of critics trying to criticize every single aspect of her performance. We just love her natural aura. I don't know what it is. Like, she had very natural makeup in both the swimsuit and the gown performances, but I will say we were waiting for a little bit more. We were waiting for whether that was a turn, a big pose or something. We were waiting for a little bit more.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm on the same page, honestly. I think I would love for her to be higher on her list. I just felt like she just didn't really have that that pizzazz. I don't know if that's the right word, but like she didn't.
That we've seen from her.
It all happened so fast, right? You're only on the stage for how long, and expecting a little bit more from the Philippines as well.
And we had just watched her overall performances from Miss Universe Philippines when she won. And so I think that we had just seen that, and then we were waiting for something like that, but better, if you will.
For sure. Anyway, moving on into the 8th spot, we have Aruba. I think Aruba continues to be like a big surprise for me throughout the competition. I know that she surprised me again kind of in the swimsuit competition. She's good. Like she's good, and I don't mean to say that in a way that like Aruba hasn't been good. I just feel like I didn't really have a whole lot of like expectations for Aruba. I didn't really expect that much from her, and she continues to like exceed my expectations.
Right. I thought she was good. I could see her in the top 10, and I know she is in law school, so that's really going to help her probably in interview and everything, so she could rise right to the top. Next, in our 7th spot, we have one of my personal favorites, Jamaica. I loved her swim performance. She just came out owning it, in my opinion. I know everyone has different thoughts, but for me, she was owning it with how she was looking. Her head was held high. She was looking at the judges, loved her walk. I thought her performance in swim was spot on.
In the 6th spot, we have Dominican Republic. I think she might have been one of my bigger surprises of the night too. Like I haven't really paid all that much attention to Dominican Republic, but I felt like she really commanded. You had to pay attention to her when she was on stage, and and a lot of girls had that. Honestly, I was like, I feel like I don't want to sound like a broken record, but like I was expecting a lot more from a lot of girls. I was pleasantly surprised with Dominican Republic.
Yes, I think Dominican Republic has been the one who showed up at Miss Universe, and people were like, "Whoa, wow, we didn't see her coming." Next, in the 5th spot, into the top 5, we have Colombia. You'd probably rank her even higher on this list if you could.
She might have been my only 10, I think, that during the swimsuit. Just in the moment, I didn't even go ahead.
No, well, I thought Colombia was amazing. I will say I was waiting for like a turn or something. You were, again, more wowed with her performance, so maybe you have something to say about it.
Well, it's the thing, like it's hard not to let your like biases kind of get in the way necessarily. Sometimes that can be like a detriment too. Like if you have expectations so high that like then they don't meet them, then it's all of a sudden like a negative thing, right? And we've talked about it over and over again. But I think with Colombia, like I think her performance was good. It wasn't necessarily great, and maybe I expected a little bit more from her. But in the 4th spot, we have Puerto Rico. She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
she is.
I personally would have put her a little bit higher than the next contestant, but we had to fight over these spots. I'm just kidding.
No, for sure. It's perspective, right?
It's all perspective. That's right. If we were both judges, we would have slightly different scores. If you watched our live, we sometimes had the same score, sometimes different scores.
For sure.
For Puerto Rico, when she came out and did that like hair flip moment, that immediately caught my attention. And then from there forward, I was even more engaged with her performance.
Yeah, next on the list we have Curacao.
Yes, in our 3rd spot.
In the 3rd spot is Curacao, and Curacao might have been one of my favorite performances.
Yeah. I think she was.
Yeah. And it's like, it's amazing.
Wasn't there the first few days.
Yeah, she wasn't.
Well, she was there.
Right.
But she couldn't be with all the delegates for the first few days.
Yeah, and maybe that has provided her a little bit of perspective, you know? Like I missed out on the first little bit of this competition. Now I'm really going to make my presence known, really be in the moment and feel this. It did seem like she really wanted to be on the stage and that she belonged there.
Exactly. In our number 2 spot, we have USA. Arguably a number 1 for some of you. A number 1 for some of you, a number 1 for probably you. But USA's performance was flawless, in my opinion. She came out just bringing it all. She brought it all. She brought it all, in my opinion. The second she walked out, she was looking at the judges, the audience, she was turning, she was spinning, she was giving energy, she was giving capturable moments. If you would have captured any single moment of her performance, it would have been like, wow. So USA, I don't know if you have more to say, but she...
Yeah, we've talked about kind of expectations and like how sometimes we set them high, you know, whatever. Don't want to keep saying that, but somehow, some way, USA exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
Because they've been high. I've been on the USA train for the majority of this competition, and somehow
for over a month.
Yeah, I feel most invested and I feel like most excited watching USA. So moving on to our last spot, Mexico.
Mexico was a huge surprise for us, not because we didn't think she was beautiful, not because we didn't think she was going to bring it, but because we didn't think she was going to land in our number 1 spot.
Yeah.
She's a favorite among all types of fans in the comments of not only our live, the Miss Universe official streaming of this. Mexico is really on people's radar. Meghan Markle lookalike, some people are saying.
She's one of the few that really brought it, and that's why she finds herself in the number 1 spot on our list.
She came fighting for the crown, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who was the best in your opinion? Who were your favorites in the swimsuit round specifically? Who really gave you that I am fighting for the Miss Universe crown vibe? Because that's what this is about.
Oh, and I know there's going to be people saying that we missed a few. I can think of,
For
we
sure.
didn't mention India. That's like, that's one big one that we didn't mention. And
If you missed our live stream of the preliminary competition, we were scoring the delegates, we were chatting. It was so much fun. I know a lot of you loved it. We got so many great comments and such great feedback. So if you want to live stream with us for the final show on Saturday, make sure you hit subscribe. You'll be notified when that stream, you can like be hit the notification thing. And yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. We will go on live a few minutes before the show, chat with you guys. We chat with you throughout the competition. And if you want to see our final predictions coming tomorrow, also make sure you hit subscribe, and we will see you there.